everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, look who I've got here. This is Alasdair. So Alasdair is from dCS, and we're going to talk all things dCS here, aren't we? And we're going to talk specifically about the Lina DAC, which is what you've been talking about here at the Hi-Fi show.
It is. It's what we've been presenting with our distributor in Australia and New Zealand, Advance Audio. Advance is a fairly unique partner for us to work with, as Nigel has really a most envious position of having put together a portfolio of what I consider to be arguably the absolute peak of each discipline inside of audio.
Yeah.
With Runa from Griffin with the amplifiers, with ourselves and Lin, the source components.
Yes.
I don't think many people would argue that the LP12 is one of the finest analog devices.
Agreed.
dCS in there.
Yep.
And then Estelon, Wilson.
Yep.
It really is.
It's the who's who of the cream of the crop, isn't it? Really?
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I also know that Nordost is here too, and they're carrying Nordost as well. So
you see an awful lot of Bjorn. There's, I know it's almost a bit of a cliche about synergy, but we at our factory in Cambridge, we have a complete Nordost room. A lot of our products, when we do our Golden Ear tests, we have Nordost, we have Valhalla, everywhere from mains down to loudspeaker cable. They're a fantastic partner to work with.
Brilliant. Well, let's talk a little bit more in detail about the Lina DAC, because this is the entry level DAC for dCS, is it not?
I'm not allowed to say that.
Oh,
we hate that term. I think we'll explain why.
Okay.
We recently, you've probably seen, we've released a new flagship.
Yes.
The Varese, it is exquisite, it is a work of art.
To look at as well. I haven't heard it yet.
The engineering team were told, improve upon Vivaldi.
Yep.
It takes as long as it takes and it costs what it costs. So we were close to 6 years of R&D to realise it.
Wow.
We spent over 10 million in making it.
Wow.
Simultaneously, this is what was so frustrating about Lina, we weren't allowed, we couldn't tell anyone about Varese.
Right.
Lina was co-developed with Varese.
Wow.
Whilst the team were making a 5-box mono DAC system that will go into the biggest rooms, we realised that the amount of spaces that can accommodate something like that are so few. David Stephen, the managing director, set the engineering team a challenge of his line was out of the listening room into the living room. Make something that could fit into a conventional living room, wouldn't take up all of the space, but still had the core technologies of what makes a dCS product. And that fundamentally, I've brought one with me, so I think it's such an elegant piece of design, is the ring DAC.
Yes.
I'm going to use a word that I say, I've chosen this, it's very deliberate. Ring DAC is a clever engineering compromise.
Okay.
There's a lot of people scared to use the word compromise and will tell you that everything's fantastic. Now, the choice that we've made, so this looks like a conventional onto our ladder arrangement.
Yes.
We do have a series of resistors and current sources. What we found from our original days when we were working in aviation, making radar systems, was regardless of where you source your resistors, they will have a tolerance. It may deviate 5%, it may deviate 30%.
Wow.
But they're never quite what they say they are.
Yes.
Now, with something like a digital to analog converter, when a digital word is fed into it, consistently you're using the same current sources for each incoming bit.
Yes.
Now that ends up in a correlated pattern of distortion that manifests in the audio signal. The human brain is phenomenally acute at picking up patterns.
Yes.
If you've ever listened to a DAC and thought, it doesn't quite feel real.
Yes.
You're listening to the variance in those components.
Yeah, wow, okay.
So our system, we can't defeat the fact that there will be errors in the components that we buy in.
Yep.
Some brands compensate for it by building into their summing stage compensation for it, but the resistors will wear. Over time, it will become non-linear.
Yes.
So instead, we have an algorithm, an FPGA, that effectively abstracts the errors runs them through a series of equally weighted current sources.
Oh, wow.
So over time, any tolerance issues just average out. We end up with something that is perfectly linear, something that feels analog, and the compromise is that we are a noisy platform.
Yes.
We're switching on and off, however many, up to 32 per time, but it's 6 megahertz. We're running this extremely fast.
Yes.
So there's mechanical noise from the switching, there's electromagnetic noise.
Yes.
Because our algorithm is pseudo-random, it isn't predictable noise. We do shape it, we do filter it.
Yes.
But the human brain is already a very effective noise filter. For example, we're having this conversation in the atrium in a hotel.
In a noisy environment.
And we can hear each other perfectly.
Correct.
The brain just ignores
the other stuff.
So this is the basis of our company. We want absolute perfect distortion measurements.
Yes.
And we're happy to compromise on the noise in order to achieve that.
That's an interesting way of doing it.
From the back of it, we're then still dual mono, fully balanced Class A output stage.
Wow.
We generate independently 2 and 6 volt outputs, so if somebody would like to run it through a preamplifier, fantastic. We will match that. Or if somebody would like to use our digital preamp to ensure the channels are perfectly matched, then we can cater for that too.
Okay. Wow.
That is the ring DAC.
Fantastic.
It's got a sizable thing.
It is, absolutely.
So how do you miniaturize it?
Yes.
We did once make a ring DAC on a chip. And as chip DACs go, it was very, very good, but it had certain problems like crosstalk. It didn't measure as well in terms of distortion. So by miniaturizing it, we effectively defeated what the advantage of it was. It has to be discrete.
Yes.
So David's brief was make something that doesn't necessitate 5 boxes.
Yes.
That has this.
Wow. Hence the Lina was born.
Exactly. We at the same time we took on a new lead mechanical engineer.
Yes.
A wonderful guy, Ross Bowman. He's come from large scale industrial projects in Asia.
Yes.
And lifelong audiophile.
Great. That helps.
Moved back to England.
Yes.
Was looking for a job. Talked to a recruitment consultant and said, there's this weird little audio company that's hiring at the moment. You won't have heard of them.
Right.
Of course, it's dCS. He didn't even ask what the salary was.
No.
He was
I'm on board.
So Ross has taken everything that he knew from huge industrial projects and condensed that down into how we efficiently manufacture a dCS DAC.
Yes.
So it was a no compromise project.
Yes.
And I've brought one with me. So even the decorative panels for the DAC are machined from billet.
Wow.
It has to be mechanically inert.
Yes.
The advantage we gained from machining it from billet was we could machine it in all the fixture billets. So no nuts, nothing that could potentially create resonance. Exactly. One of the areas that Ross took his efficiency of design and concept was throughout our other series. We have lots of different parts. We clad, let's say, a Vivaldi DAC.
Yes.
The side panels for a Vivaldi DAC are a slightly different height to those of the Vivaldi Bot, to those of the Vivaldi Transport.
Yes. Correct.
It means we're machining lots of different pieces, offering to finishes. You end up with a lot of SKUs.
Yes.
So instead, we made one admittedly very expensive, but universal part that was high value. So the enclosure itself starts life as a piece of billet.
Wow, you can see too. That is hefty.
We core it out, we leave enough meat in there so it's an effective heat sink for both the amplifier and the DAC.
Yes.
DAC runs in Class A, it generates
heat. It generates heat.
It's, when it's all bolted together, it's a perfect Faraday cage.
Yes.
We are a noisy DAC. We don't want any radiation from outside getting in. Conversely, we don't want anything radiating out. This is going to be close to things like turntables, funnel amplifiers. We don't want to affect the rest of the system. So it's a great enclosure. It's extremely rigid.
You can see that, absolutely.
Inside, again, the foot where the power supply with the transformer is
again, that looks amazingly hefty.
Machined from billet.
Yes.
We needed something that was mechanically inert
yes.
for the transformer to start.
Yep.
regardless of, we've used the same company to wind our transformers for decades.
Yes.
But regardless of the quality of the toroid, it will oscillate.
Yes.
Vibration is the enemy of crystal oscillators.
Absolutely.
So how do we mitigate that?
Yep.
Well, we use a piece of billet.
Yes.
We've machined out the inside so we can have the transformers slightly further away from the analog circuitry.
Clever.
And then we went really old school with where we positioned them. We've got one of the original prototypes in the factory where you might be able to see the standoffs that we mounted the transformer
Yes. Yep.
on the original prototypes. There were maybe 40 of them.
Yes.
So we'd have the Lina DAC plugged into our test systems.
Yep.
Proprietary in-house test systems from our radar days. One of our specializations was looking into FFT measurements, so we have really bespoke, accurate test equipment.
Test equipment. Yep.
So we looked at where mounting the transformer made the least difference to the analog outputs.
Oh, fantastic. That is absolutely going the extra mile. Wow.
So if we offer it up to the DAC itself.
I can hold that.
Oh, wonderful.
While you're
You see,
there.
if I turn it this way up, where the transformer is, it is as far away from everything analog
You can see that, absolutely.
as we could do.
Fantastic.
So I guess
That's
that
clever.
leads us on to the next bit.
Yes.
Again, David's philosophy of no compromise, it must be a dCS product.
Yes.
You can see we have got the ring DAC array.
Yes.
It's the same 48 per channel current sources that are used in Bartok, in our Rossini series, in our Vivaldi.
Wow, okay.
We've got the Class A output stage fully balanced.
Yes.
You've got both XLR or single-ended outputs generated independently so they don't affect each other. If you want to run a subwoofer on the single ends, it's not going to affect the output overbalanced.
Wow, right.
One of the key changes we made was in simplifying. Instead of having a discrete FPGA per channel to perform our modulating algorithm and have a separate one for all DSP on the main board, we condensed that down into one Xilinx RTX7 FPGA. Now, we're proud about what we make. We're fairly open about the components we use.
That is an expensive component.
It is an expensive component.
I know that much.
The idea is if someone is kind enough to put their confidence in us, invest in one of our products, we owe it to them that the product is upgradable over time. We want this to be as current, as cutting edge as it is now in 10 years' time.
Fantastic.
So ongoing upgrades. We've already doubled the rate at which the mapping algorithm works.
Right.
Gives a measurable increase in linearity.
Yes.
So that was an update a few months into the product's life.
Yes.
We assumed at launch that these would be used primarily with integrated amplifiers.
Right.
There was demand for volume control, so we added a volume control. We've increased the amount of filters.
And with the FPGA, those things are achievable, aren't
Exactly.
they? Yeah.
The FPGA allows us to do some other clever things. Admittedly, agonizingly boring, but very clever things. I've been weaned on hi-fi since I was a little nipper.
Right.
And one of the things that I've always believed in was using my old CD player, turn off the display.
Yes.
It'll sound better.
Yep.
Never understood why.
Yep.
It's that typically if you buy in a display and the microprocessor to control it, it will refresh at 60 bits.
Right.
That could potentially feed back some sort of interference as we're working with 44.1 or 48K multiples in audio. So we've
highly sensitive.
Exactly. So we've written our own code to control the display, and it locks the display to the audio signal that's being played. It locks onto one of the crystal oscillators.
Yes.
So there's no risk of
any
contamination.
contamination.
We actually do the same thing with the switching power supply elements. So they're clocked to the audio signal as well.
Oh, jeez.
Power supply signal easy. So let's mitigate that.
Yeah. Clever.
It's a supremely clever thing that
It
the
is.
team pulled off.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and I'll move away from calling it what I did to begin with, because now that you've explained this in this kind of detail, there's nothing compromised about this product at all. And I've been listening to it, everybody, over the past 3 days, and I've been listening to Alasdair's presentation upstairs, and he's a brilliant communicator at getting across this information that he's now doing for us here on the channel. And let me tell you that this thing sounds, I mean, I'm familiar with dCS products. I've listened to quite a lot of them over the years, and this is really cutting edge good. It's been paired with the Griffin 333 and the Estalon's up in the room, and it is right up there with the best rooms at this hi-fi show, and in no small part to do with this DAC.
So we're very much of the opinion that anything that's lost or anything artificial that's added in the source can't then be refound or filtered out by the amplifier, by the loudspeakers. So we are source first, but
Yes.
I think upstairs, certainly with the help of John from Sound Gallery, in just making sure those Estalons are exactly where they are.
Where they need to be, yeah.
That was a tough day for setup.
I bet.
He's a perfectionist, but we love to see that in our dealers. We had some heavy eyelids on setup day, but he wouldn't let us leave until we were
had it
all
right.
happy with the sound.
And that's what it's about. One of the things that I talk about on the channel too is that the room is the body of the instrument to which we listen to our system in. Why does the Stradivarius sound the way it does? Because of the design of the body. That's what gives it its sweetness, its delicateness, and the room is super important in getting that room right so that these amazing components can shine, and they certainly are at the show.
You mentioned the Stradivarius. May I tell you a secret?
Please do.
So a few people have asked us why our other ranges are composers.
Yes.
We have Bartok, Rossini, Varese, Vivaldi, and now Varese.
Yes.
What's Lina mean?
Yes.
This, I think, was a really clever name. Lina was the name of Albert Einstein's favourite violin.
Is that right?
So we felt this being such a technology-focused project,
Yes.
we wanted a name that symbolised where music and science met. So Lina.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. I mean, I'm sure not a lot of people are aware of that. So thank you, Alasdair, for sharing that with me, because I didn't certainly know that. And that is a beautifully fitting name for this amazing piece of equipment. And so we can talk a little bit about where people can get this product from, and that would be Nigel and his team.
That's it. We are having such a storied history in the pro audio scene and in hi-fi, having objectively some of the best product. In fact, I'm going to be very bullish. Having the best product as digital front ends go,
Yes.
we are extremely selective over our partners.
Yep.
In Australia, we found the perfect partner with Nigel in Advanced Audio, and Nigel also has the very fortuitous situation of we've been able to spend a bit of time with Jimmy and his team down at Tivoli.
Yes.
Had a fantastic night there, met some of his customers,
Great people there,
shared a bit of music.
Yes.
It was great, and the room that we've been demonstrating in has been in association with Sound Gallery, with John.
Yep. Yes. They're all great people, absolutely great people in the industry in this country. So you are in wonderful company.
Couldn't ask for better.
Yeah. Well, look, everybody, I just want to thank you, Alasdair, for spending the time and having a chat with us here on an Aussie Audiophile. It's a real treat to get people like this in front of the camera. He's been very, very busy. I've been watching him all weekend. He's had a packed program, and to take some time to come and speak to us is a real treat for us, Alasdair, and I thank you very much.
It is my pleasure. We're always so happy when people are interested in what we've made. So to be able to come out and show people all of those, what's come out of all of those thousands of man hours, years of development.
Yeah. Well, you should be proud of this product, because it certainly is next level as far as its sound quality goes. It's blown me away all weekend, and again, thank you so much for being part of an Aussie Audiophile.
Look for us next year.
Thank you.